Have you ever noticed someone who seems to carry the weight of the world on their own shoulders, refusing assistance even when it's clearly needed? Perhaps you see it in a colleague, a friend, or even within yourself. This behavior is more than stubbornness or pride. It is a complex psychological pattern, rooted deeply in the human mind, shaped by past experiences, beliefs, and fears. Today, we will explore the hidden layers of why some people never ask for help. At the heart of this behavior is a fear of vulnerability. Vulnerability is often misunderstood. In society, showing weakness is sometimes seen as incompetence or inadequacy. For people who refuse help, asking for support feels like opening a door to judgment. They fear that admitting they cannot handle something will diminish their value in the eyes of others. This fear is not irrational, it is protective. It shields them from potential criticism or rejection, even though, paradoxically, it isolates them further. Closely linked to this fear is a need for control. Many individuals who never ask for help have an internalized belief that if they don't do it themselves, it will not be done correctly. This desire to control outcomes is not simply about perfectionism, it is about managing uncertainty. Life, after all, is unpredictable. When someone takes full responsibility for a task, they feel they can reduce risk. Asking for help introduces variables outside of their control, and for some, that uncertainty is unbearable. But this behavior does not emerge in a vacuum. Past experiences of rejection or neglect play a significant role. Consider childhood experiences where pleas for support were ignored, dismissed, or even ridiculed. A child who asks for help and is met with disdain may grow up learning that vulnerability is dangerous. They internalize a belief that their needs will not be met by others, leading to a lifetime pattern of self-reliance. Even if they encounter supportive individuals later in life, those early experiences leave a lasting imprint, shaping how they approach requests for help. This brings us to another critical factor, self-efficacy and identity. Many people derive their sense of self-worth from their ability to manage challenges independently. To them, asking for help is not just a practical decision, it is a threat to their identity. If they define themselves as competent, strong, or self-sufficient, then requesting assistance can feel like betraying that self-concept. In essence, asking for help challenges the very narrative they have built about who they are in the world. Another reason these individuals refrain from seeking support is a fear of burdening others. They may genuinely care about the people around them and worry that their problems will inconvenience them. This is especially common in highly empathetic individuals, who are attuned to the emotional and practical impact of their needs on others. They may silently think, if I ask, I will be a nuisance, or, others have their own problems, I must deal with mine alone. While these thoughts are rooted in consideration, they create a cycle of isolation, where the individual suffers in silence rather than risk troubling someone else. Underlying all of these behaviors are often cognitive distortions, persistent, inaccurate thought patterns that shape perception and decision-making. Phrases like, I should be able to handle this on my own, or, if I ask, I'm weak, are not mere expressions of pride, they reflect deeply held beliefs that distort reality. Cognitive distortions amplify fear and reinforce avoidance. They make asking for help feel morally or personally wrong, even when it is logically beneficial. Over time, these distortions become automatic, and the person may no longer consciously recognize the mental barriers they have built. Yet, refusing to ask for help comes with hidden psychological costs. Isolation, anxiety, and burnout are common consequences. Emotionally, carrying problems alone can foster resentment toward oneself and others. Physically, chronic stress can manifest as fatigue, headaches, and even more severe health complications. The irony is that the very behavior intended to protect them, self-reliance, often undermines their well-being. By avoiding help, they reinforce a belief that they must handle everything alone, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of stress and isolation. It is important to recognize that not everyone who refuses help does so for the same reasons. Some are shaped by personality traits such as introversion or high conscientiousness. Others may have cultural or familial values that prize independence above all else. For instance, In some cultures, self-reliance is equated with honor or moral strength, making help-seeking appear shameful. Understanding the diversity of reasons behind this behavior is crucial. It is rarely a matter of laziness or arrogance. Psychologically, there is also an element of control over one's narrative. When individuals refuse help, they maintain autonomy over their story. They decide how and when challenges are addressed. Asking for assistance, however, introduces the perspectives and influence of others, which can feel like relinquishing authorship of their own life. This desire to be the sole architect of one's journey can be empowering but also isolating. So, how can individuals break free from this pattern? The first step is awareness, acknowledging the fear or belief that asking for help is somehow wrong. Self-reflection allows one to identify cognitive distortions and consider alternative perspectives. For example, recognizing that seeking support does not diminish competence but can enhance resilience and efficiency. Building trust is another crucial step. Individuals who never ask for help often struggle to trust that others will respond supportively. Establishing small, low-stakes opportunities to request assistance can gradually strengthen trust. Over time, repeated positive experiences can reduce fear and increase comfort with vulnerability. Finally, reframing the narrative around help-seeking is vital. Instead of viewing help as a weakness, it can be understood as a form of strategic collaboration. Just as one would consult an expert to improve outcomes, asking for help is a way to optimize resources, share burdens, and foster connection. Human beings are inherently social creatures. Support is not a sign of inadequacy, it is a reflection of our interdependent nature. In conclusion, the psychology of people who never ask for help is multifaceted. It is a combination of fear, past experiences, identity, and cognitive patterns. While self-reliance has its virtues, extreme isolation can lead to emotional, physical, and social costs. Understanding these psychological dynamics allows us to approach such individuals with empathy and insight, recognizing that their behavior is not simply stubbornness or pride but a complex interplay of protection, fear, and self-concept. By shining a light on these hidden motivations, we can begin to break the cycle, not by forcing someone to accept help, but by creating an environment where asking for assistance feels safe, valued, and natural. Ultimately, learning to seek support is not a concession of weakness, but an affirmation of our shared humanity. It is a courageous step toward resilience, growth, and genuine connection.